They do. Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Oh, God. Y'all caught me. The recording started before I was ready. That's what happened when you start having hot flashes. Please forgive me. But as you know, it's your girl, Pastor Stacy. And I'm waiting for Pastor Harry to jump on with us as we begin our life discussion podcast this evening. We want to welcome you into our living room as we sit back and chit chat about what do married people think? And you may ask, think about what? That's why it's a question mark right there. We are here and ready to answer any questions that you may have about what married people think. So we already put out a survey with a couple questions that came in. And if you guys are live on Facebook, you know you can always comment and we'll ask your question online. And we're going to have a couple guests jump in. So if it's any married people out there this evening that would like to jump in. You hear me? I'm all tongue tied. Jump on in with us. Hit us up and we'll bring you right on in.
Yeah, send us an inbox and we'll send you the code. And you can speak your part as well, because
what's that? 2.5.
We don't know it all. And it's good to have people that know a little something like you, might know a little bit more. This thing called marriage is not something that they wrote a book on. I mean, people write books about marriage, but it ain't no table of contents. Like, it ain't the 10 commandments of marriage. Like, marriage is something that that you gotta really take your time and get to know, the person that you say that you love, the person that you say that you with. I know a lot of people that tried to walk this road and this trail of life, and for one reason or another, things didn't go the way that they wanted to. And I never been through it, but I understand. The old school song said it takes two to make a thing go right.
It takes two to make a thing go right.
And then it takes two to make it out of sight.
Woo.
And we gotta be on the same page. We gotta be on the same page when it comes to marriage, because one person can't want more than the other person want. One person can't want to do more than what the other person want to do. You gotta be on the same page. One of the greatest things, I know we talk about with our kids, and I think it's more evident when it's dealing with your mate, is communication.
Yes, communication is key. Let me see. Can I copy this link right here? Our other guests can get in. And I don't know how to send it to them. So
I can send it to them.
Keep on talking. Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Because I was trying. All right. So this live discussion podcast is being sponsored by Pink Ice Lip Gloss. That's Pink Ice Lip Gloss. Super shiny, high definition lip gloss that you can get from yours truly at www.pinkicelipgloss.com. And to help you out, I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the screen for us.
Also, it's being sponsored by Stacy Sweet Scents, where you can go to www.staciesweetscents.com.
That's right. That's right. You know, we got to promote that business.
I had to push
And we're
that out
doing it
there.
together.
I had a good friend of mine, which is married down in Georgia, Atlanta. In his name is Ferris Tooley. He bought some candles off of us last month.
Yes, when we was down in Georgia.
And he just burnt them today.
Hey, look at the screen while you talking.
He said it's not it, what I just sent him. He said he just burnt it today. He said he just burnt it today. And he had some people doing some work at his house to help take care of his parents. And they was like, what in the world is you burning?
Keep looking at the screen and tell him to check his inbox.
They said, what is you burning? So he was like, that's my buddy Harry. His wife Stacy, she got her own candle line. And he was like, man, he said them candles went from my front door all the way upstairs to the last room in the house. He said it circled through the whole house. He couldn't believe it.
Inbox. Yes. Listen, I'm not just saying it because it's me. Anybody that had the candles before, they sell themselves because they be popping. I don't have a bottle up here.
I go grab one.
Okay. I tell people all the time how when we lived in a should I put that back on up there? That when we lived in a townhouse, our townhouse was like 1,700 square feet, and we would burn the large size candle. Let's see if I had one over there, and just that one candle would smell up the entire townhouse. So now we be mixing the flavors, and we got the little small ones. If you're the type of person that like different scents burning in different rooms, you can have that, or you could just like one big one. When we were at the church back in Statesville, we will always burn angel breath. And here at New Hope here in Charlotte, that scent was, what is it? Clean linen. Clean linen, which smells like Gain detergent. So if any of you are Gain fans, that clean smell. And my personal favorite is angel breath as well, because it smells like Chanel No. 5. So while he's getting those, again, did we put up the website for the pink ice lip gloss and the Stacy Sweet Scent candles? We would truly appreciate your support. Hi, Evelyn. I love you too. And she said, yes, they smell good. See, I'm a truth teller. And my girl Evelyn is online now and telling you guys, she's testifying. The Bible says testify to what you know. And she just said they are good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The one that I was telling you about, this is our 27 ounce that used to light up the entire townhouse. Oh, and he actually bought out clean linen. Then this is our medium size jar. Then we got our little jelly jars. And again, I recommend these for people that like to have different scents in different rooms. You know, if you want to scent in your bedroom, if you want something different in your right there, if you click on the link, that's our guest trying to get in. So Evelyn, I'm gonna have to put you on the spot since you're here while we're waiting for our guest to come on, because I want to start asking our pre questions, I guess. That strawberry is nice too. Yes, strawberry used to be my favorite one. Because see, it's a password right there if you click on the link. Go ahead, answer the phone. We sitting in our living room. Listen, we not fronting trying to make it seem like everything is perfect.
Hello?
And every time we get ready to go on a Zoom, it be perfect. Sometimes it be hiccups and
Stacey
stuff.
said all you gotta do is go on the
Yeah, like don't dial in that phone number. If you click on the link, they'll bring them right to it.
you just gotta I'm gonna see the number again. You saying when you send them on Facebook, it's not supporting.
Oh, that's where I got it from. Okay, let me try it again.
She's gonna try it again.
he wanted to go to his email or to his
Send it to his phone.
can't send it to the phone from the computer. I'm on the computer. I can't do
Send
that.
it to his inbox.
Let's see. Oh, it's not chat. Go to
You should send the Ebony to.
participant.
All right.
Here we go. Invite. Look, copy the invitation.
So
Hang in there with us, guys.
this right here is strawberry. This the medium. And this goes for 15. It's the medium. This is small. This is rain. These go for 8. Then the large, it's clean linen. And so y'all see it, they ain't upside down. That's a $20 bottle. It used to be a little bit cheaper, but they started charging us more for the bottles. So as much as we love each and everybody, we can't take a loss just to sell some candles.
Oh, I keep doing that. I already say, and people that have been with us for a long time know I haven't changed the prices since 2007 when we started. So you know,
did.
over 20 years late, 10
Yes.
years. Yeah, no, 17.
17.
Yeah, almost 15 years
15
later.
years later, we had to finally go up.
There we go.
Like, and y'all know, especially at the Corona, everything been going up. I mean, everything. Even the Chinese store done went up.
No, the Nellery. That went up because you used to
Oh, my
get a
God.
pedicure
We used to go
for
there and get
$25.
our feet done together for about 50 or 75. Now I gotta wait till payday to get our feet done just to make sure I got enough money. That's just, you know, because we try to do a lot of stuff together, you know, and
All right. We got you, Miss Gunter. We got you. Hey, Overseer Yolanda. Yes, rain. Rain is the blue one. Here we go. I think he had the rain one poured up.
this is
A
rain.
lot of the guys like that, like the rain scent.
Make sure I got it up. That's rain. That's our $8 bottle now.
Is that me speaking?
Yep. And for those that like sweet scents, really sweet smelling scents, it's the strawberry. Woo!
Yes, they need to get their cut.
Strawberry. I'm telling you, that is it's so sweet. It make you want to make strawberry upside down cake. Is that strawberry
Right.
upside down?
Strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake. I got that confused with the pineapple upside down.
Wait a minute. I want to do something different, guys. Y'all know how nephew Tommy be calling people. I'm gonna call one of my sisters on the line. I hope y'all be able to hear her because she had a question and she didn't log on yet. So I'm gonna call her. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, I ain't gonna say your name out loud, but you had a question about the marriage segment this afternoon, and I wanted you to ask your question. So I'm calling and putting you on the spot.
Don't put me on the spot. Don't do that.
I ain't put your name out there, so you just tell us what was your question.
All they know is your voice.
But the church folks. So I gotta talk to somebody else. Y'all too churchy.
Well, the bishop didn't get on the line. Your son-in-law and your daughter-in-law. Yeah, I said that wrong, but I said it wrong on
Son-in-law
purpose.
and daughter.
Daughter-in-law. I said it wrong on purpose, so people couldn't guess who you are.
I don't care. I'm not the average person.
Come on, ma'am. Tell us what your question is.
Motherfucker get on your daggone nerves. And you at the curve.
So if you guys didn't hear the question was from this young lady, what do you do when your husband gets on your nerve and you're ready to kick him to the curb?
Well.
Well, let me repeat it. Hey, Ebony London Gunter, thank you for joining us. We have a young lady on the line whose question is, when your husband gets on your nerve and you ready to kick him to the curb, what do you do?
Well,
Nothing.
But wow. Well, what you should do is just like really take a minute and analyze why he getting on your nerves. What is it about that what you doing that's bothering him? You know what I mean? And try to take it off of, oh, he getting on my nerves. So, oh, what could I be doing a little bit better? What could I be doing differently? How could I be listening?
Well, that's a good one because we struggle with listening.
Yes, it's every day.
And I'm telling you, as from a male perspective, I think we take more than we get.
You think the male take more than they give?
Yeah.
Oh, he about to start a he say she say conversation.
For real.
Wait, can y'all hear our special our surprise person on the phone? Mom. Hey, Obi.
Yeah.
Give him a new baby. If your husband getting on your nerve, give him a new baby.
Somebody said
That's a chore for you. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
give him a hug, tell him that you love him, and ask him if he had a bad day.
Right, you got to go
Yeah.
back to your line.
Wait, what was the original question? I'm sorry, I walked in.
Hey, I want you to hear. Can you hear her? She
What
talking.
was the question?
Our special guest, can you repeat your question?
Oh, I said, damn, that asked me if I had a bad day.
No, your original
Wait,
question.
I'll do it. Her original question was, what do you do if your husband gets on your nerve and you want to kick him to the curb? You guys are the special guests. We called her. I did a nephew Tommy. Right, that's his name.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
card her on the phone and was like, ask your question.
You showing her face. You showing her face.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You ain't saw my face, my skin black.
Ideally, we want to work it out. We want it to, to work. So we don't want to, live or stay in the chaos for the moment. Because sometimes it can get a little hectic. These marital streets is serious. This is not for the weak. So when it comes down to situations where y'all not seeing eye to eye, sometimes I'm good for let me just walk away. Let me take a minute so that I can get myself together, because I'd rather you have a memory of me walking away to get myself together than you having a memory of me saying something that you can't unhear.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's important
Yeah.
to take a moment and analyze, why am I feeling some type of way about this? Why is this getting on my nerves? And what is the ultimate reason for us to be going back and forth in the first place? Is arguing over the remote that important? You know what I mean? Because sometimes as married couples, you be bickering for no reason. And is
That's
it really
me.
that deep? So
That's
just
me.
regroup.
That's me. I find myself and I guess you would say in the heat of the moment, you would say stuff, or I know me, I'll be holding back I'll be wanting to say stuff. And then he's not a fusser or an arguer. So I'll be standing there looking stupid, hollering and screaming. And then when I sit back and think about it, it really wasn't that deep. What were my motives and what am I trying to get out of the conversation? Am I trying to get him to argue back? Or am I really looking for a resolution? Or do it even require a resolution?
Right. Sometimes you got to realize when you married, all of your interactions is with that person.
So you can see the response. My phone can ready die.
Oh.
What she said?
No,
You said what?
I'm talking to our anonymous person.
Okay.
Oh.
But you ain't see it, AJ? She anonymous.
Anonymous.
Oh,
Oh, wow. That's what I thought that was.
All right. So it was her.
Yes.
well, in her case, she needs to shut up and listen.
Oh,
That's the mantra for everybody. We all
no
need to listen.
no comment. Look at my sister just got on, looking all beautiful. Hey, girl.
So sorry.
No worries.
AJ and Ebony, introduce y'all to Bishop and Pastor Echoes.
Hi,
Hey,
guys.
how y'all doing? Yeah,
These are a couple of our good friends that decided to come along with us.
And look at her all summer body ready, looking all slim. Go, girl.
I'm trying to just be healthy. That's it.
I know that's right.
Beautiful.
I know
Look
that's
good.
right, sis.
She look good.
Yes, she does. That's right. Represent.
That's right, Bishop. They say it's a poor father don't praise his own pound.
I know that's right.
Right.
So what you guys missed so far? I did a nephew Tommy. I called one of my close friends on the phone, put her on a spot, and was like, "Hey, the topic for this evening is what do married people really think?" And y'all know our platform. We just sitting around in the living room chit chatting. So I put her on the spot, and she was like, "What you do when your husband get on your nerve and you ready to kick him to the curb?"
Oh,
Well, it's got to be the husband. Kick the curb.
That part. It's that part.
Hey, please make sure y'all like and share on y'all pages so y'all can invite all y'all friends, family, church members.
Yes,
So-
yes, okay.
Um,
All right, Yolanda said, we all need space. So she treat Nate, her husband, to the cigar shop. That's how she get her space.
well, I don't
And
believe
I
it's-
encourage outings. Hang out with your brother. Do some, guys time. It's okay. I ain't tripping. Please enjoy yourself.
Well,
Please go somewhere.
Gotta have it.
So the question, can say the question again?
What do you do when your husband getting on your nerves and you're ready to kick him to the curb?
I don't think we've ever gotten to that point, have we?
No, I can't, that's not my kind of question. 22 years
Right.
we've been married. I can't.
It's awesome.
That's good.
Long time to like
With that-
somebody.
with our situation, we have so much in common though.
Right, I think that's what it is.
We started off as musicians and playing and singing. Then we ventured on into ministry. So
But
our
I think we were really good friends first.
right.
And I think that's what has made the difference in our relationship. Like friends, not hugging friends, kissing friends,
friends with
I
benefits.
mean, I'm saying because that can really make the difference before the before the foundation, oh, okay. Because that foundation of friendship helps you to know what people's triggers are. And when you're friends, you don't want to, if you're friends first, you don't want to use people's triggers against them to get on their nerves. So it helps. It builds a great foundation. And the things that you may have been vulnerable about relationships, if you're friends first, then those vulnerabilities you all already have shared it with each other. So it really helps when you get married.
But also, I mean, not saying that we've never had an argument or disagreement.
Right,
You know,
right.
That's with every couple.
But I don't think
as far as I think when we got married, we both had the mindset we're only doing this once.
Right.
So
I know
kicking
that's
that
right.
to the curb is not really an option because I don't want to be living in sin because
Right.
what I'm used to doing with my wife. So I'm not going to kick her to the curb and have that aspect taken away from me. So I think that's one of the things that is in my mind. Most couples don't. I mean, in this day and time and in this generation, people don't go into marriage with that in their mind. They go in saying, "Well, I can always get married again." So I think that's one of the things that.
Or when you get upset, I don't need you, I can make it without you,
Right.
All kinds of things that we say in a hurtful manner. I don't know.
I
But
feel
we
like
being around each other. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Wait, I think I heard Bishop say Felicia be doing that good. He ain't trying to leave that good alone.
Come on now, yes.
Let me
ma'am.
find out light skin. What you doing?
Listen,
Yes.
let me write a book. That's all I can tell.
Right?
them.
Because people think that Christians don't have sex. Where they think the little kids come from?
They got
Church
couple
people
songs.
have sex. The
They
pastor
sure
and
don't
the
come-
bishop have sex.
They don't come from the bird in heaven.
He they better be. He just looked like he eating to say something.
I
You
said
know all his 9 kids. I mean 8. I'm sorry.
he could get it in daily.
You need to go make sure you're not cleaning the toilet.
But no, my thing was what I was saying about that original statement is what Bishop was talking about. He ain't get married for no divorce. I feel like I could never get married again. I feel like I was if me remarrying means that I was a liar.
Right.
You feel me? That my philosophy is like, how can I be married if I'm professing that God sent her to me? Oh, I am so head over heels in love with you. I declared to spend the rest of my life with her, and something transpired. We're like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to deal with you no more. And then now I'm gonna find somebody else to say, oh yeah, you the queen, you this. Man,
Right.
I didn't lie for the last 7-8 years. Like, what was I saying and all that? God told me and directed me. So how can I leave this and go on to someone else? Well, we all alive, well, full able bodies. You dig what I'm saying? Nothing happened or transpired. We just said, oh, enough is enough. I don't think it could ever get that far with me because I feel like it'll be a lie. Like when I hear people say they've been married multiple times, I say, well, how? For me, it's like I don't know how you could tell multiple people the same lie at the altar every time.
Right.
That's what does it for me.
Oh yeah.
Listen, this might not be a churchy answer or response, but what I told K-Sign, like, this is it. I ain't getting married again. So even if we break up, we still gonna be together. So we gonna be broke up and still together because you ain't going
like
nowhere.
That's
Yeah, that sounds like me. It wouldn't be my wife. She's all or nothing. So
like this is it, bruh.
Right.
But I think it really boils down to that is really a broad scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that it is important for couples to have their own space, their own niches, I think that's why we work, because we love being around each other, but we don't have to be under each other. So we have our own, I like to write, I like to read, he likes videos, he likes TV loud, I don't like it loud.
I like to feel like I'm in a theater.
Right. So, and we love football, but we might watch football in 3 different rooms.
Yes.
Dallas, wait
Eagles,
a minute.
baby,
Y'all don't, let's not go there.
Word, AJ.
Well,
They Dallas fans.
Oh, we can't save.
Bay is Eagles.
We can't save them all.
And my son is Redskins or Washington, whatever you want to call them. They don't even know what their name is.
Exactly.
Y'all confused. All of different teams in the house. What y'all do during football season?
Well, we have 3 TVs. We have 3 TVs.
What the Bishop like?
Eagles, man.
The Birds.
What happened? What does First Lady like?
She a Cowboy fan.
How
was
is
like
that?
She was like that before I got to it. Her father did that to her. So,
those daddy.
I could have sworn the Bible said, "Leave thy mother, thy father."
Come on, preach, brother, preach.
Is that not scripture?
It's scripture. Come on.
23 years, you still working on something. Makes sense.
Right. That's right.
The prophet said, "As for me and my house."
Listen,
she trying to win me over, bro.
Don't do it.
I'm still working on them.
But let me tell you, the thing is, Cowboys do have some great colors. I love blue, and she uses that to her advantage. So
Nah, that's the ugly blue.
Right.
Blue my favorite color, but that little dark, they just trying to be hunter blue. Never heard of it a day in my life. They didn't want to be equal.
Wise men follow the star. I'm waiting on him to tap into his wisdom. He's gonna tap in. I got him.
And you know what? It's amazing that we're talking about this because I think things like that matters in a relationship. Because
it'd be a deal breaker if my wife said something like that to me. Cowboys.
I'm telling you,
no.
Me and Stacy would have had a problem if she'd have said that to me when I met her.
See, this is what y'all don't understand.
Cowboys?
Who your quarterback?
I am a fisherman first. I'm a fisherman of men. And when you know how to use the right bait, it doesn't matter what you like.
Come on.
It don't matter what you like. If you got the right bait, you will change your appetite. You will.
Amen.
So
Amen.
that settles it all.
I tell you, I can compromise.
Listen, Pastor Jackie Gentry said, well,
What you say,
I
babe?
said I can compromise in that area with no problem now. I'm telling you.
Listen,
She used the right bait.
right.
But-
with
We
the
gonna
original
have-
question,
Aspects because I don't understand how y'all do it. One chair. I feel like it's division in that house on Sunday morning.
they in
Sometimes
church on
division can be
Sunday.
good,
We go to
man.
church on Sunday morning.
Well, after,
Sometimes division can be good. You know, it brings it you'll get a chance to
Fire.
come back together and unite
Right.
after the division.
Amen.
That great
Amen.
fire, that great Holy Ghost
Amen.
fire.
Amen.
Because when it's all said and done, it's Team Eccles.
Amen.
She
And
is
that's
a
the
sore
truth. That's
loser
the
though. She is a sore loser. It takes her about 2 or 3 days for me to come
Right.
back around. So
Right. If we lose, the whole house know we
got
lost.
cowboy paraphernalia inside your home.
What he said?
There he
Say it one
go.
more time.
We gonna leave. He talking. We
You
gonna
got
leave Dallas
cowboy
alone.
I can't hear.
So that our sister that asked that original question, to make sure she leave with some type of resolution.
Right.
I believe that you got to be around other strong couples. And
Right.
the reason she say kick to the curb, I don't think she really mean that she gonna leave her
Nah,
husband. But
that's-
society says so easily, like, oh, you know, like girlfriend and boyfriend. Oh, I don't like you no more, so I can break up with you. But when, like AJ said, once you make that covenant with God, ain't no leaving, or that should be the farthest thing from your mind is, oh, if we don't like each other no more, we can go ahead and get divorced. So you have to be more committed to God and to your relationship, your covenant, than each other. Because you are going to have days when you don't like each other. You're going to have days when you get on each other's nerves. Because sometimes I get on my own nerves. So I tell him he get cool points for putting up with me, you know.
Hey, and I know I'm a get on your nerves kind of person. You know, I've been that way all my life. I get on people's nerves. 'Cause, you know, sometimes I don't know when to talk and when not to talk. You know, she tells me all the time, "You didn't have to say that," and I just be like, you know, I thought it was right for the moment.
Right.
All right, guys, there goes
But
the
I
next.
think I mean, you know, I'll say this real quick. You have to make sure that you are building your communication skills. Because a lot of people, especially in the church, and I mean, hey, you know, with pastors, we can talk about it. A lot of people marry to solve the sex issue, but they have no idea of how to be in a relationship, a healthy relationship. And so there are many team building and relationship building tools that you can use to refresh, to reignite the fire. I mean, it's so many things out there. And I think it's so important because we, you know, our people perish for lack of knowledge. And now the percentage of divorce in the church is over 50%. The people perish for the lack of knowledge. Everybody thinks, okay, we just gonna do it the way, you know, our parents did it, the way our grandparents did it. And listen, we're not in 1950. You're not gonna be able to run your household the way someone else did. You have to know your family. You got to do the research and get the information you need to have a healthy relationship.
Yes, do what works for you in your house.
But get the tools, because just you got to do more. Yeah, do what works for you. But if it's not working, you may need to get some tools to build a better relationship. Don't just think it's their problem. It's the husband, it's the wife, it's the kids, it's the money, it's the this. Sometimes the root of it is that you don't have enough information to evolve from where you were 10 years ago or 5 years ago. We've been married 22 years. We have evolved as people, but we had to do it together and we had to get the tools that we needed to evolve together. And I think that's where sometimes people can get stuck because they want to use they want to do the same thing every day. That's dull. You got to expand. You got to add you got to add wood to that fire. And if you need some oak or cherry or walnut, you got to, you know, change it up. But some people will not, they refuse to get the information to change it up. They just use the same old game book, but you got to get some more plays.
I like that. Change it up. You gotta, well, all right. The next question that came in was, can you be happy in a sexless marriage?
No,
Wait, you ain't let me finish.
nothing after that.
Well, what if the person is sick? The husband or the wife
If
is
it's,
sick. So
I mean,
it's not just,
I'll
well,
let you
they didn't specify if the husband or the wife saying, no, you can't
Finish.
have none.
that was the whole question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my theories on that is this. No, you cannot be happy in a sexless marriage, especially if one party, no, and this is serious. If one of the parties, right, is feeling in a sexual mood, like you may be hot and bothered, he not hot and bothered, vice versa. Now, one person can be sick and unable to be sexually active, but that does not diminish that other person wanting that level of feeling. Just because they can't get that feeling from the other party, whether it be voluntary or involuntary, it doesn't take away the fact that the urge is still there. So at some point, you dig what I'm saying? At some point, you know what I'm saying? That will be a deal breaker, especially if it's a point where, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a deal breaker if like someone's been, they had a healthy sex life in medical reasons. That's when that person needs to be under, you married that person through, you know, better or worse, sickness or health. Now, if health plays a factor, then brother, you better be Pamela or ma'am, you better get you a rose. But if it's a matter of the fact is one person just doesn't want to do that because of personal issues, has nothing to do with health reasons, then that's a major issue. Major. It's a major problem.
Bishop, Pastor, how y'all feel about that?
I taught in our ministry that when people are dating, I believe that you should discuss where you are on a sexual barometer. Some people might be on a 10, some people might be on a 2. And I think, you know, those are things that need to be discussed prior to getting married, you know, but because, especially in church, usually those are things that we don't discuss because, you know, most people, either they haven't experienced anything sexually or they're saying they haven't experienced anything sexually. They don't want, right. So they don't want to have that discussion. But once you get into the marriage and finds out he's on a 10 and she's on a 2 or vice versa, then you have an issue because, you know, now the one that's on the 10 wants it all the time. And the one that's on the 2 is like, we just did it a week ago.
Right. And really, when you talk about church, mentality, a lot of men and women really think sex is demonic. I mean, we have counseled a lot of leaders who came up very harshly, and they only use sex as a mean of having kids or just to release. They're not using it for affection. You know, I would even say they don't even know how to. And so a lot of times that is a turn off. It's not that the person doesn't want sex. If you have someone who is lousy at it, but and does not have a open mind to learn their spouse's body, their likes, their wants, their needs, and they're not listening to, because sometimes people think they are a 10 and think they're doing something, but they're not listening to their spouse. They think they're great, but they're not listening, because I promise you will know if you're great. You really will know, because nobody can fake over and over and over again. So these are the things that I think that when that person asks the question, can you be in a sexless,
be
marriage?
Happy in a sexless marriage? Be happy.
Be happy. You know, somebody basically what I say is someone is going to be unhappy.
Mhm.
So if someone is unhappy, my desire, this is what I believe strengthens our marriage. I found out what makes my husband happy, and that's what I do. And he found out what makes me happy, and that's what he does. And guess what? We're both happy.
I
Not
like that. I like that.
Not I had to get out of like, this is what I want. No, God said, no, let's flip this. I'm going to give you what makes you happy. You give me what makes me happy. And we're going to be happy because we're constantly finding out and observing what makes one another happy.
Right.
And that takes work.
Right. And also, you know, it depends on the situation.
Right.
If you have one person that's at home and not working, then the other person is working all day, then has to come home, take care of the children, cook. And then, you know, at night, you look at her like, hey, baby, what's up?
Right.
You know, hey, she tired.
Right.
You know, so, you know, it depends on the situation, you know, with that person that has a high sex drive, and the other person that may, you know, be more active doing job duties or whatever the situation might be. So, you know, all that plays into the scenario of the sexlessness of the marriage. But, you know, like we said, if all things are healthy and all things are in a good way, you know, it shouldn't be, you know, those moments where you're not coming together.
You got to find out why
Right.
it's sexless.
Right.
You got to do the work. Because it shouldn't be. That's the main reason. Listen, we driving that home until we die.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, really, you know.
I just thought of. I was strolling. It was yesterday, and I seen a post, and the post said, "Women don't apologize. They just come to bed naked, and you decide whether you mad or not." I ain't mad.
Well, listen.
Well, I know, speaking for me, I'm in a situation where I want my wife's body to heal.
Right.
And I'm more concerned about her body healing than us doing something sexually.
Right.
You know what I mean? As long as she cuddling and she kissing me and hugging me and scratching my back, putting some lotion on it when I need it, and, you know what I mean, making me feel good as a man, then that'll work. And then once she's healthy and she's in, you know, a good position,
You can't.
I'm making up for old times. I'm making up for lost time, you know. But you know, as I told her before her surgery, I said, you know, when I made my vow, you know, it meant something to me. You know, rich or poor, sickness and in good health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Happy, sad, up and down, it don't matter. You know, I'm there with you. You know, like I knew her too long and I waited too long to have her, and I'm not going to have her and not take care of her. And I think that's the real major part. You know, when I know the two become one, but we got to stop being so selfish.
Right.
As a couple.
And that's what she was saying about knowing each other bodies, because
Yeah.
one could be thinking they tearing it up and they ain't doing nothing.
That's a sad feeling.
So at what point do you be like, yo, just stop, Lord?
But you have to have, but you do. I think that
so you
people
just
need to
say
understand.
stop, like, yo, bruh,
But I
stop.
think you do need to have conversations periodically because we do evolve in our bodies. So we got married. I was 20.
Something.
You were 24.
Yeah.
I was 26.
Yeah.
I'm older than him.
25.
Oh, she got a little young. Go ahead, mama.
Got to keep up with me. I had to marry him a little bit young. Not that much, but anyway. So the way where my sex drive or our sex drive, it was in our 20s, which mine, I don't think mine was as high in my 20s because I was very purpose driven. I mean, I love, you know, I love sex now. I did love it, you know? but I was vision and purpose, you know, my passion. I mean, really, really driven in my 20s, 30s, my 30s too. But and I was learning how to be married, which is really not, we don't teach that. We teach so much stuff in church. Oh my God, teach you just stuff you don't even need, but you don't teach people how to be in a relationship, how to date, and how to be married. Don't even know how to date, you know. But look, is that Brother Gunter?
I'm right here.
Y'all, can I scoot back to what he said earlier? When they come to bed naked or whatever, that's a non-verbal apology.
Yeah.
So we do apologize.
Saying sorry.
I had to say that. I'm sorry, y'all.
And I look like, okay, so now she want to say sorry. Oh, all right, let's go ahead. All right.
It's non-verbal. Go ahead and receive. That's the best apology you can have.
This, if even if I try to say something, she said, what'd you say? Oh, I thought that was it. You still talking about that?
That was
My bad.
last night.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I put my pride to the side, bro, and just let her do it.
Yeah. We shut up. Talk too much. We shut up.
I receive it all, God.
And what you said about communication is so key, because when we first got married, I had this red bathrobe, this big old flannel grandma looking bathrobe that is so comfortable. It's like a snuggly, but you zipping it up.
Ugly.
But it was so comfortable. So if it's a night, you know, we just watching TV or whatever, I will put it on. And in his mind, when he see me put that on, he be like, oh man, let me just roll over because ain't nothing jumping tonight. And right. And it wasn't until we had to be a year or two in it, and he was like, man, I hate that red thing when she put it on, you know, because that I know I ain't getting that. And I was like, babe, that's not what that means. I was putting it on because it was comfortable. But that was one of those communication things, like in my mind, it wasn't nothing wrong with it. But in his mind, it meant something else until we were able to discuss it.
I felt like she was coming to bed and she was like, this is how I feel tonight. Leave me alone.
She's getting in bed. I feel like we had a bad day. What's the problem? What's the problem?
You know, got a onesie on. Like,
what's up? I
see,
cold outside. Get under the blanket.
And Ebony, and that's in my mind, like, we married. You the husband. If you want it, you just roll over and be like, yo.
Take that off.
I'm not Bernie Mac. I'm not gonna snig it.
I don't think the outfit matter. We beyond that.
Listen, you know, when your wife come to the bedroom and she walk in there and it's like, pow, you like, yes, sir. Yes, Lord.
See,
turn out the lights.
In my house, clothes a lot in my bed.
You get some Anthony Hamilton on. You know what I mean? Like,
she get one uninterrupted week every month. I don't bother you. I won't say a word. I just say, all right, got you. See you next week.
I want to talk about survival in marriage. You know, because we just had someone ask, you know, about kicking them out. But, you know, especially with this couple that's been married over 20 years, you know, survival is real in marriage. Because in life, even before you become one with somebody, a lot of stuff happens in life that make you want to walk away. A lot of stuff make you want to give up. So what are your feelings on what it takes to survive?
From my standpoint or my perspective, it has to be communication, number one. A lot of things get lost in translation. So what that means is what she said as opposed to what she actually meant. I have to know, you know, sometimes that she said that for a certain reason, not to be offensive, but, you know, she's telling me something without actually telling me. So you have to know each other's love language, first of all. where people are communicating, to know that they're not actually trying to offend you. And I think offense can be the greatest thing that destroys a marriage, which leads to, in pride, which leads to not being able to communicate. So, you know, as a man, I shouldn't be, you know, all up in my feelings, you know, because my wife said something to me a certain way. You know, now I'm acting like her instead of acting like the man.
Come on here, I can't. Ooh, this new softness, I don't like.
Right. So, you know, to me, number one is communication, you know, being able to communicate and then just being able to understand the other perspective, because we get so caught up in what we think about situations that we don't consider, you know, our perspective is not the only one.
Right.
So in a marriage, you have two people coming together to make one, but you still have two different viewpoints on certain subjects. So with that, it's going to take submission also. So one person is going to have to submit to the other as far as when we make an agreement. And that doesn't necessarily mean because I'm the man that my wife has to submit every time, because she might have the answer. And I, you know, what I'm thinking might not be actually what's best for the situation. So, you know, those two things to me, communication and submission are a priority.
Pastor, before we go to the Gunters, you got
It was actually you.
Pastor.
Really, for me, it's really about putting God first, the word. I always go back to the word. God hates, what is the Malachi second chapter? He hates divorce. So my mind always goes, how are we gonna survive this when we're not seeing eye to eye, when we're not on the same page? Well, let me get in my, I can do more effectiveness in prayer. That's my motto in prayer than I ever could trying to solve it with my mouth or with actions. I have to first really seek God first as the foundation, and then see what does God say about the situation. I often look in the word for different scenarios when something is going on. Well, what does the word say about it? Let me see, even if it seems like it's something 21st century, well, let me see if I can find myself or find this situation in the word, and how was it handled? What was the wisdom that was taken out of it? That's how I try to solve something, because really, if God doesn't, my husband knows this, if I don't really get it from God, it's almost like I won't listen to anybody else. I got to get that revelation from God that even I'm wrong. Okay, God, I'm wrong. Let me go back. Let me go downstairs. Let me, that's my relationship, that I keep him first in our marriage, and then run everything through the spirit, and then make sure that, like I said, the lines of communication, we got to survive this together. We are not opponents. We are teammates. We're not on two. It's not on the man team, the woman team, the husband team, the wife team. No, we are one. So whatever is trying to come against us to tear us apart, to cause us not to survive this, to cause us not to overcome this, let's become the enemy of that. I want to be the enemy of what's coming against us, not each other's enemy.
Absolutely.
And that drives me more than me getting my way.
Gunters.
Repeat the question for Ebony.
I wanted to talk about what does it take, or what do you do to make sure your marriage survives, that it lasts?
We just came up on 7 years in March. So approaching 7 years, it's like, I know that's just a drop in the bucket. You know what I mean? I know that God has amazing things for us. And when it gets difficult and rocky, and where you're not really sure if did God say this sometimes, because situations come up, I always go back to knowing that I know outside of everything, that one, before my husband and I have become husband and wife, that I prayed, if this man don't mean me no good, God, I got a whole lot of other stuff going on. So if he don't mean me no good, even if it hurts me, remove him. And if he means anything to me, if you have any plans for us, then you show it and you let me know that that's what it is. And since day one, my husband has been so consistent and showing me my marriage is a reflection of my relationship with God. So everything that God is trying to show me in the spiritual realm, I get to interact it through my husband. Whether it's me listening, whatever character builder things that I'm dealing with, in a spiritual realm, God will pull that from my husband. And so, like, when it gets difficult for me, I just pull on to the fact that I know that God has purpose for us. Like, it wouldn't be so difficult if God didn't have great plans for us. If the enemy knew that together, like, what we are able to do, what we're capable of doing together. If the enemy wasn't afraid, then he would leave us alone. But because it's so much purpose in our marriage and our relationship, and it's way beyond just me and him. This thing is for our children. It's for the generations to come. It's for young people that don't even know what marriage looks like, because a lot of times we don't even have examples to nobody's ever married. We got people that have been boyfriend and girlfriend for 40 years. You know what I mean? And having a marriage is a whole different ball game than being, in a common law situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a whole different commitment and tapping into knowing it's purpose in this. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than my emotion or my feeling at the moment. I might be upset about this right now, but what's the bigger picture? What's the bigger goal of us even, being together? There's purpose in that. So always going back to that and always tapping back into knowing that God has purpose for our union beyond the pettiness of right now, of the moments right now, that we got to move forward, move past. So, and reading your word. When you read your word, you able to pull from situations, and like you said, know how to walk in wisdom and be guided through, like, okay, well, this happened. This is what they did. Okay, now it wasn't that bad. Every time I think about Sarah and Abraham, all the time. I think about Keturah, the side chick. You know what I mean? I think about how if Sarah would have got, sidetracked from the purpose that God ultimately had for her and Abraham to be the mother of many nations and generations. You know what I mean? If she would have got sidetracked by, oh, well, this is what I want, but let me put my hands in it to make it better for you. And now you done brought another situation in. You know what I mean? I think about if they would have gotten sidetracked or distracted by that, what could have happened to eliminate that that blessing over the blessing of Abraham, or maybe how difficult it was for Mary and Joseph to be together when Joseph knew that wasn't his baby, but he trusted in the voice, the angel's voice saying that you got to protect this woman, even though I know this ain't your seed, but this is your responsibility, and having to work through whatever, marriage situations that caused. So I think about those type of relationships and those marriages and how their marriage was way more important than them, that they survived so that we can have those type of situations to glean back, and learn from, and to just keep on going to kind of keep us together. So that's how I do that.
And Ebony, you just said something that was just like so important, of where I told my wife, and Lord put her back in my life, I told her that our relationship is bigger than us.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Our survival is bigger than us.
Right.
Because it's a lot of people out there, marriage, they, whether we know it or not, look at us.
Uh-huh.
Some people watch Facebook and think it's reality. Like some of them shows on TV.
Right.
They see all the pretty pictures. We going to France. We going to the Bahamas. We getting on a cruise ship. But they don't see once you get on a cruise ship and she start cussing you out or telling you, or he start, acting crazy or whatever, that our relationship matters, not just to us, first to God, and then to all the people around us.
Right.
You know,
But
it's some couples that I believe that's connected to us. Had we had
Right.
fell apart, they probably would have fell apart.
Right.
But because they saw us fight, you know, you got to fight through this thing as a unit, you know, together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I was just watching a TV show, and I think it was Flash. And him and his wife had to go out there and fight. And they was just like, listen, we're going to be back to back. You're going to cover mine, I'm going to cover yours. So ain't nobody going to be able to get me from my back, and nobody going to be able to get you from yours. And that's how we got to look at our relationship, that the devil going to try to attack us. And most of all, he try to catch us when we can't see. So if we only got one back, and your eyes is facing one way, and her eyes is facing the other way, that means we got both sides covered.
right.
And we got to cover both sides.
That's right.
The same way we as leaders try to cover the church, we most of all got to cover each other.
That's right.
First.
Amen.
Right.
That's why I hate to travel without my wife. I just be like, oh God, I gotta do again. Even some people like, where your wife at? I was like, she okay, she fine. She close enough I can talk to her on the phone. I can't FaceTime her because she still got that Android, but I can still call her.
That's just like having a cowboy as a fan. You gotta fix your household.
I'm anti-iPhone. I'm not
I do
getting
have a
iPhone.
gun. I do have a gun. I don't want to hurt you. I just met you.
Hey,
But you know what? Can I say this? Well, brother, London. AJ. I'm
AJ.
sorry.
You were saying called AJ.
I'm sorry.
So
I don't think you got your chance. Let me.
AJ,
Oh,
you
wait,
ain't talking, AJ. Yeah.
no, you sometimes I always one of my main things is to you just need to listen. I find myself
Okay.
doing that a lot. I just like to sometimes shut up and listen, you know. But for me, that's pretty much what I think is the strengthening over here for me is I do a lot of listen. I do a lot of talking, but I also do a lot of listen. And when I do a lot of listening, it's because I just like to listen to a lot of whatever make her happy, whatever makes her sad. I want to know it all. Because if I don't know it all, you know, I don't fully know how to diagnose and apply assistance that we can continue to flow upwards. If I don't know what's going on, I can't flow upwards. So I ask questions, man. I'm gonna ask some 50 questions before we go to bed tonight, just to make sure I fully understand where we are and where we stand, and that you fully understand, that she fully understands my vision and my plan for our life and for what we're building. You know, she has her own individual ideas about her life. I have my own individual about my life, but I also have to have an idea about the vision and direction for our family, you know, essentially. So I make sure that, you know, I'm in tune to what's going on around us and, you know, what we're putting out as far as what we're accepting that comes into our lives and what comes into our space. You know, I'm a very, 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 very vigilant on, you know, how I move how I move around her to make sure that she remains comfortable. My main goal, like my number one goal, is her comfort. And that doesn't matter what we got going on. If we up or if we down, I have to make sure that she's comfortable in every situation. And the moment that I think that we're comfortable, then I know she's not comfortable because that means that I'm settled. So I can never be in a position and where I'm settled. Even if I achieve one goal, then that means now it's time to add two more on top of that one that we just completed. That way we keep striving, we keep moving for the top. So I just never get complacent in where we are, because I feel like once you become complacent, then now, you know, that means that you're not I don't think that I'm in tune for what she wants, because every day she has a different idea 4 or 5 times a day. And we can't act on every idea, but I can't dismiss them either. So I have to find ways to implement these new ideas on a daily basis. Now I have to figure out how we can implement your ideas in a way where you feel like you have a voice and that she could be heard and is understood. Because at the end of the day, I try to make life comfortable for her, that every day she can have a new idea and a new venture of what she want to do. And every idea, we can't act on it today, but I don't want her to feel like, oh, that idea is just now scrapped. No, that's a very, very important idea. Now we're just gonna have to figure out how we can implement that in a way where you feel like you're being satisfied, and I'm satisfying you by making you happy. So my primary goal is to make sure that she's always happy in everything, and I don't never lose focus of her ultimately being happy, because like I tell her all the time, I picked her. So if I picked her, then that means I picked her to be happy. And not listening, to her and her wants and her desires, that's not a happy lifestyle. So my thing is just listen. If everybody just listen, everybody you should find a way of having a better understanding, because you listening to her, she's listening to you, and then y'all both able to work. Y'all both able to work out those issues because y'all are listening and understanding one another. It's all about understanding one another.
Absolutely. And to add to that is growth. Like, we're not the same people, unlike you guys that got married in your 20s, we got married in our 40s. So we were already pretty much,
anything
set in
over
your
35
ways.
over here, just so you know, is 40.
Already, kind of set in your ways, and this is how I am, and I'm not going to change. That was neither one of our mentalities. And one of the things that I share with young ladies or other married women is that we could do a lot more by praying than arguing and fussing.
That's true.
And once you make up in your mind that it's not important to be right, because we'll keep fussing and arguing and come back the next day and the next day, keep saying the same thing over and over again, trying to prove a point, trying to be right. And is it really, at the end of the day, is it really that important to be right? And I also tell women, stop praying and asking God to change him, and ask God to show you you. And you can have so much more peace in your house. Listen, when I stop trying to mommy him, like, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. And sometimes they like it for us to mommy him. But when I stop, trying to be his mama and to be his wife, it just made our lives so much easier. And what I mean by that, because not just with him, I think with any man, any woman, any person, if somebody's going to do everything for you, of course you're going to sit back and let them do it. But you can't get mad if you doing, I'll just use us as an example. I did everything. But then when I got tired, I still tried to do everything instead of saying, hey, babe, I'm tired. I need your help. Like, I'm not the Abilene lady. I could bring home the bacon, cook it up in the pan, and then, be doing tricks at nighttime. Yo, I need your help.
Right.
Like, it's a lot trying to do the kids and cook and clean and ministry and all this.
That's the miseducation that we received in church.
Mm-hmm. That we had to do it all.
We as women, that's what they did, and a lot of times that's not what they did, or they were miserable, and people, they weren't happy on either end. Because you can't, someone that's trying to fulfill the perceptions of what other people think about what marriage is will never make you happy. You won't be happy, trying to fulfill what someone else has projected on you, that's what you're supposed to do. So you really have to find your place.
That was wisdom
right. So I think, if I could say this real quick, I'm sorry, Pastor.
Okay. No, go ahead.
You again, I stress this over and over again. When you are married, you have to know what season you are in. So what season are you surviving? You know, what storm are you surviving, or what storm did you just come out of? You have to know that, because I think the most difficult stage probably of our marriage was probably when we started ministry and we had our son. Because now, when I had my son, I wasn't supposed to be able to have children. So when I had Prince Neil, that miracle, prayed that miracle in here, fasted, defied what the doctor said. You understand? This thing was real, you know, and he's happy, he's excited. But listen, I have birthed a miracle that I heard a doctor say when I was 17 and a half and is still a virgin, saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, and you're gonna tell me I can't have children? That my womb will not, that the cancer is not gonna, when I get through this, I won't be able to birth a child. And at 35, here comes that miracle. You know, my whole, you know, my mindset was on making sure the miracle grew up. You understand? And so God had to really deal with me. And then pastoring, that was we were in our second year of pastoring. And when I say focus on pastoring and building the people and building the ministry, and then have this fresh new baby, you know, that meant that Bishop did not get a lot of attention. That is what the stage of our marriage was. And so I think about a year into it. Now, see, my husband, he is not vocal. He's not gonna, he doesn't argue. He just doesn't argue.
I'll endure a lot.
He'll endure.
I'm like a simmer pot, you know. For a long time, and then next thing you know, it blows up. So I not to get to that point. So, you know.
But I had to use that same discernment, the same Holy Ghost that I used with the sheep, with the people, with all of that. I had to use that and say, what I had to say, what's going on? You got to tell me what's going on. If you don't tell me what's going on, I can't fix it. I can't help it. I can't grow. We can't get better, because he's not complaining, but I was like, something, you understand? You just
Something
know.
off. You could tell it's off.
And then when he shared with me what he felt, I was devastated. I was hurt, because I didn't want him to feel that way. And I think that sometimes we don't know what stage we are in when we are in that motivated stage. We're concentrated on a career, concentrated on kids, concentrated on what we're trying to do. Sometimes we leave each other's emotions to the side, even for the vision. And I don't know if people really understand this. The vision is very important. VISION. Your vision is important for your house. But how your spouse feels is more important than the success of the vision. Because if you all are not happy, there will be no vision. So you got to come together and make sure that you are loving each other mentally, emotionally, on every level, even when you feel like you're happy, that you're right, that you're asking the right questions. And then you get in there and you do the work to repair if it needs to be repaired. You get in there and you do the work to repair it or build it, or like I said, work on your communication skills, because I'm a communicator and I was the type of person, listen, if you don't tell me, I'm not going to beg you to tell me. I'm going on about my business, and when you decide that you're gonna tell me, then we'll deal with it. But I had to change that about me as well. I had to learn patience. I have faith, but I didn't have a lot of patience.
You know, as far as from my perspective,
I can't hear you, Bishop.
Can you hear me now?
Bishop, we can hear. Okay.
Yeah, I think my computer has some pressure on it or something like that. You know, my wife's, her voice is so, you know, outspoken. Then when I start speaking, it takes the volume down. But you know, as far as not being able to say something in the moment, as far as being her husband, for me, it's, you know, you hate to put a damper on what somebody's trying to do. So even though, you know, you're not feeling what they're doing, you as a husband, sometimes I just sit back and say, okay, let me just see what she's trying to do instead of expressing or trying to bring down the moment. Because sometimes, you know, sometimes when you express how you're feeling, it could actually discourage the person from continuing.
Right.
So, you know, we as men, we got to pray also and say, okay, should I be vocal in this moment? You know, what I'm feeling, should I, you know, communicate it or not per se, should I communicate it, but how should I communicate it?
Wow,
Some men be
yeah.
like, no, we ain't doing this. No, you know, and we don't, and to me, sometimes that can be devastating to the other person. So, you know, like I said, it just goes back to communication. And, you know, like you said, Pastor Harry, I do sit back and listen, or I think it was my brother, AJ. You know, I do take moments that I do sit back and listen and process to comprehend, you know, what's actually being said, what's actually being done. So that when we do make a decision, that it is something that we've all thought about and not something that we're just jumping into, because I hate jumping into something and not have really thought through the process. Because to me, you're wasting time, you're wasting energy, you're wasting money when you do that. And, you know, as the man, I hate to waste money.
I know that's right.
Time, and I hate to waste energy. So, you know, we got to talk, we have to communicate, but at the same time, I'm going to let you get what you have to say out. I'm going to let you go through your process. And then if we're halfway through it and it's not working, I'm going to say, well, baby, we need to come back to the table and, you know, make sure that we're going in the right direction.
But you know, for me, I use Stacy as my other brain. You know, because I'm always eager and excited to try to do this or do that or get this done or get that done. You know, and sometimes through my eagerness, you know, I appreciate her when she just be like, pump the brakes. You know, slow down. Like, let's think about this. Let's talk about it. Because a lot of times I just had stuff running in my mind. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And she was like, you can't do it by yourself. Like, you can't just do it and then tell me you did it. Like, we got to talk about it first.
Right.
You know, but before you go and do it, you know, I got two brothers. I got one older and one younger that I talk to all the time when I got different thoughts on my mind, you know, and I just get their opinion. And then I come back to her and it's like, listen, I was just talking to my older brother, my little brother. And she was like, you gonna talk to them first before you talk to me? And I was like, it's not that. Just sometimes I need to talk to other dudes, you know, just to make sure.
You see how he just be putting me on blast?
You know, but I understand how she feel. I mean, when I really think about it.
No, but that be because I don't want to be his boss, his big brother and little brother. Of course, they're going to be like, yeah, go ahead. Because he'll say, I'm going to go downtown Charlotte and I'm going to stand on the highest building and I'm just going to scream the gospel and I'm going to throw tracks out in the wind. And they're going to be like, bruh, that's a good idea. Where I'm going to say, first of all, it's illegal to get on top of the building. Second of all, where you going to get the money to print all of these tracks to throw away? And then you're going to get hit with a littering bill, you know, for littering in the middle of the street. And I don't want to have to be the one to stifle his creativity or, you know, be the one, like you just said, Bishop, be like, no, let's not try it. I'm more analytical than he is. I'm a work, like even now I'm taking notes, like stuff got to make sense to me, you know? So that's where I think we are one another yin and yang, because he'll be like, let's just jump out there and do something. And we had this conversation often, like, I don't think one of our faith is one has more faith than the other, but I'm the one that say, we're not counting that money until it's in our hand.
Right.
That's because I don't want to spend money 50 times in my brain that we don't have, where he'll be like, oh, we getting a new car, we getting a new bed, we gonna buy a new house, we gonna build a fence to the sky. And it's like, I can't just smile and nod and be like, okay.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I definitely feel what you mean. Because the thing is, when someone has a great idea, they don't realize that there are other components or other people who have to come and support what they're doing. Because
Right,
you know, my
right.
wife will have a great idea, but that idea is going to cause me to take 8 hours of my time to help support what she wants to do, and she might not have that in the forefront of her mind. And you know, as me, like she said, I will sit back and not say anything. And like I said, I was that slow simmer pot. So it gets a point where you're saying, okay, I'm doing too much to support what you want to do. And you know, sometimes you know, that can cause the rift in a relationship because of the non-communication.
Right.
So like you said, you have that yin and yang. It's nothing wrong with that, but we have to come together to make a decision, because what your great idea is going to cost me time, energy, and money to support. You know, not to say that, you know, it's a bad idea to do that, but you have to count
Yes,
the cost,
planning.
as the Bible says. You have to count up the cost in whatever you do.
Yes,
So if
yes.
if you have this idea and I'm not willing to put in the time or take away from my time to do that, it's going to cause friction.
Right, and the thing is, I am that type, like Pastor Harry. I pull the trigger. I'm not waiting. Once I hear the yes from God, that's it. It's over. And babe, this is what happened, and this is how it happened. And now you all right with it, babe?
Well, after she pulls that trigger, I have no other choice, because
Right.
I don't want to see her fail.
Yeah, he
So
doesn't want to see me fail.
I don't want to see her fail, so I'm gonna be like, okay, you pull the trigger, okay, let's go.
Right.
So until it gets to the point of saying, okay, I'm going too much, you know, we need to rethink some things.
But that was the first stage. I
Right.
mean, I'm better now.
Oh, yeah, most
I'm
definitely.
better
Right.
now with temperance, with self-control.
Okay.
It's still there,
Mhm.
but I'm just better with self-control and talking it out and seeing, you know, how I'm going to get him to say yes to it before I did not. No. But
We
you
know
have
how to
know
get
how
him to say
survive
yes.
it. That's how we survive.
Yeah.
That's how we get through it.
Exactly.
And when you like each other, it helps. I think a
does.
lot of married people don't like each other. And so it's
Ooh.
hard it's hard to
That's the truth,
survive.
right,
It's hard to
exactly.
survive
Yeah.
challenges and things like that, because it gets back to what was the foundation. Because at the end of the day, I don't want us to lose our friendship. I don't want to lose what we have. It's more than sex. It's more than, you know, it's so much more to it. And so we can survive it because we put God first, and then we make each other a priority, not what we want, but what the other person wants is the priority.
AJ Ebony, so who's the jumper and who's the one that pumps the brakes?
Ebony.
Can't hear
You on
you.
mute.
You on mute.
You on mute. Ebony the jumper.
Y'all
Yo,
still
You
on
on
mute.
mute?
mute.
You on mute. Mute.
I'm mute. We can't hear you.
I said it depends, because you know our situations change where he might jump on something, but naturally I am like real spot. I want to do stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. And he's like, what?
What you talking
And
about?
you know, my mom, if I run an idea past my mom, she already got it printed up on Channel 9 News with flyers, and he looking at me like,
What Mindy talk about?
I just
Yeah, like when we was coming for the party, I was like, I'll be down for the party. And you was like, we having a party?
right.
Yeah. Like, we having a party. I guess we having a party. Remember Bishop just said, like, okay, like, yeah, so you letting me know, because we gotta go run with the idea already. You done already put it in motion. So
And now he trying to clean up, trying to figure it out.
Right.
But get it
So this is a sidebar, but Bishop, I was trying to think, like, I know you're the singer, pastor, but Bishop got like this radio personality voice. He sounds like Donnie Simpson or something. Like his voice just nice and make you want to sit back and listen to what he got to say.
quiet.
Right? Do you sing too? Do you sing?
I'd like to think that I can sing, but my wife, she lets me know that I can't. So, you know,
The
maybe
wife-
one day, maybe one day I'll bring it to the
He
public.
could teach
One-
parts. He's a great teacher
Yeah.
of parts.
As far as solo, I she tell me to keep it to myself.
He has a wonderful personal worship with God.
That was
Private. Your private worship is wonderful.
Oh, because
That's
I
what he
can't
said
sing
about
like
me.
her.
No, but he can't do that old school congregational. He got an anointing for that now. He can take you back and
Just was about to you singing.
so.
That sound like me. I be wanting to sing so bad. I be singing and he be like, babe, get lower. He won't say stop. He'll just be like,
now, but when he does it, I push him. I say, sing, babe, sing. I don't even act like he can't. Like when he just pulls and he just like, I'm just gonna do it anyway. I'm just
Mistakes and all, I'm just gonna do it. I don't care.
And, I grew up singing in church, and I try to be more of a musician than I did a singer. But yeah, I am Timothy Wright. Some people think I'm him, and I done got pulled over a couple times. Like, you related to Timothy Wright? But
that's because he used to sing Timothy Wright songs on the choir back in the day.
that
I
was
can
before I
see
started
that.
playing
I can
bass.
see that.
But
Always.
I'm so glad.
I don't know who Timothy Wright is.
But
No.
like she really helps to complete who I am. And for anybody who watching that's married or want to be married, you need to make sure that the person you marry really completes you.
Right.
And it's not just in the bed, because
Right.
you're not in the bed all day long. It's many times.
Listen,
I used to tell them females, all the females I ever dealt with, if you don't know as much as me or more, you ain't no good to me. I don't need nobody that's stupid. You know what I mean? You can be stupid, but there's somebody else stupid out there that wants you. I don't want nobody stupid. I don't want nobody that don't know nothing. I don't want nobody who I go to ask you a question and you be like, I don't know either. Like, what good is
What
it?
you like? Whatever you like.
This ain't coming to America. Eddie Murphy didn't even want that.
Yeah, because if you dumb, I can't do nothing with you.
So it's just like,
If I look at you,
she,
listen, you have a difficult time. We got a problem. I think the wrong way.
Right.
He forever asking me to spell something.
Yeah.
I'm like, this must be a test.
If I can't, you better. Because if you can't spell it, my eyebrows are like, yo, whoa. I thought you were the dry. I start questioning institutions now. What was they teaching?
Right.
that's what I'm saying. She finished college. I didn't. So I'm just like, you got me beat. You gotta help me out.
Institutions. I want to make sure I got, Gerard, okay, check mark. That means you got a little bit structural education over there. All right, let's see what you got.
Right.
Spell encyclopedia. Quick, let's I'm that guy.
As we come to close to our conclusion, I just want you two couples, and we'll close it out at the back. Just express to the people that's listening, what has it taken for you guys to make it till this point, and what do you desire to want for the future? Because see, it's a lot of people out there that's married.
Why don't you make it a little simple? Like, what advice would you give
Yeah.
to?
What advice would you give to those that are married or those that want to be? Like, how you got to this point, where you decide to get, where do you want to go to, as time go on, and then we're going to be letting you all go and be able to enjoy the person who you sit next to. AJ Evans.
Oh, for me, what I think, if I gotta leave some nuggets for you, listen. That's it. Long as you listening. I mean, you listening when she speaks, you listening when he speaks. Long as everybody's listening, y'all, that's the right resume right there. Y'all on path. Y'all on pace. If you can listen to him and she can listen to you, y'all on pace. Hiccups is gonna happen. But they don't last forever. Couple minutes. You dig what I'm saying? They don't last forever. Long as y'all able to listen, y'all good to go. That's the first step to communicate. Listening.
Definitely listening, but also knowing that you all have a vision for your marriage. Like if you don't have a vision for your marriage and you just together just to be together, then that's hard when things get hard. Why do I want to be dealing with this, or why should I do that, or why, you know what I mean? If there's no vision, if there's no purpose, like what is the end game when our eyes is closed and our kids are, you know, grown up? What is it that we want to leave for them? What examples do we want to have? Like, what is it? What is the purpose of this? This has to be a purpose. God created this union for a reason. And so what is the vision that we need to bring forth? You know what I mean? As to why we're even together in the first place. And so when thinking about that, it makes it a little easier to listen, because you know that God is, I believe in, you know, God is over my husband and my husband is over me. So God has given him a vision for us. You know what I mean? And so listening and trusting the vision and being able to know like we got a common goal to get, you know, to build something, to do something together. So that's important, knowing your vision for your marriage and knowing what it is that you all want to accomplish with one another.
Okay.
Bishop, Pastor.
Yeah, I would like to say those that are seeking to get married and those that are even married, you know, within those first years, I would say that you have to define and align your marriage according to the culture that you live. So many times.
That was a good one.
I'm sorry, say again.
You gotta write that in the book, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Define and align your marriage according to the culture that you live. You know, so many times we've been taught about marriage, especially from the biblical perspective, but the culture that they live is not the culture and the time that we live in. So I love what you were talking about earlier, how you appreciate a woman who can bring something to the table. I absolutely love that my wife is smart and that she's outspoken, because where I lack, she actually, like Pastor Harry said, she completes the place where I lack. So, you know, men cannot be intimidated by strong women in this day and time, because that's the culture in which we live. There's strong women all around us. We have a woman vice president, of the United States. Whoever thought? Especially a woman of color.
That's right.
So, you know, a lot of men can be intimidated by that type of power, you know, that they see that women possess in this day and time, and try to downplay them. And when they try to get married, they would try to downplay who they are and take that away, because they feel like that a woman shouldn't have authority, that type of authority over a man. But, you know, like I said, that's not the type of culture that we live in anymore. And we have to make sure that we are aligning ourselves and our beliefs of what we want out of marriage, according to where we are. And of course, letting the Spirit lead us into making those decisions. So I think that would be, you know, one of the best nuggets that I can give, you know, regarding thinking about being married, or even if you're just getting into it. You know, you have to be on the same page. You can't be dogmatic. You know, you have to leave space for to view someone else's perspective other than your own.
And that's a great takeaway, Ben. Great. Awesome. Two things. Don't ever, for those that are married, don't ever stop studying your spouse. Do not get familiar with what you think you know. Always discover. Look for opportunities to discover and unfold and dig deeper. Also, think outside of the box when it comes to marriage. I mean, it's so many married couples that get married and they get stuck in familiarity. Just they don't go anywhere, especially in the church. That's all you do is church. That's it.
Mm.
So they
That's all your children do. That's all y'all do is church and go to eat. I mean, it is so much in this world to do. It's so much to do in this city alone. I would say Charlotte alone. That's free to do, and so you have to stretch your mind culturally and cultivate your marriage. You got to constantly be cultivating it and think outside of the box and really enjoy the journey and have fun. Stop making it a chore, because it's not. Really, it's one of the greatest institutions that God created. It is one of the happiest things, that gifts that God could give you is your spouse. Make sure you're enjoying your spouse.
As we get ready to close, my thoughts is this. The closest thing that we ever seen in this world to be perfect was Jesus Christ. And even in his greatness, he went through a moment of emotion, and he got in his feelings.
Right.
When he said, Father, remove this cup from me. And this was a son talking to a father. So to all the married people that's watching, it's gonna come a lot of times you're gonna get in your feelings. Because you're human.
Right.
You're not dead, you're alive. And in this life, we got trials, we got tribulations, we got feelings, we got emotions. But don't allow your emotions to overtake your correct thinking. Because a lot of times people get into their emotions and they be like, oh man, I shouldn't have did that. Because you reacted as opposed to thinking. One of the greatest things my mama used to tell me growing up, she said, Harry, if you think about it before you do it, you won't go wrong.
Right.
But most of the time we go wrong when we just react and we just do something as opposed to thinking about it, especially when you have a mate.
Right.
You got to consider them as you do yourself. Like if I said this to myself, would I be mad?
Right.
So,
You know what I mean? like so what I'm about to say,
Right.
so if I wouldn't like it, then she wouldn't like it, or that he wouldn't like it. And
That's it.
it's not about not being honest. It's not what you say, but it's how you say it.
That's right.
A lot of times my wife, she be wanting to tell me off, and then she be like, Biggie, and then, she say it to me all nice and sweet, and I receive it a different way. But when she say, blah, 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 I be like, what? And then she be like, okay, all right. I'm sorry. I meant to tell it to you like this. So it's like considering your mate and everything that you say and everything that you do, and that whatever you do, it won't put you in a bad situation, and it won't put her in a bad situation.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, whatever affects me affects her. And whatever affects her affects me. Especially if you say you love the person that you with. Now, if you don't care and you out there wilding out and acting a fool,
Right.
then nothing matters.
Right.
nothing.
Nothing matters. But when you care about the person that you sleep next to and that you lay next to, and they really are your all in all, behind our Lord and Savior, the next thing in this world is the person that you with. Because the old school church that we grew up in, they used to say that it was God, church, then family. But they got it wrong, because if there is no family, there is no church.
That's right.
If the family dies,
Yes.
the church dies.
Yes, sir.
So we need all the families. We need all the men,
Yes.
all the women, all the husbands, all the wives, all the people that's engaged or thinking about getting engaged, to realize that if you last, the vision lasts.
Yes.
and you never know who watching you.
Right.
The Bible says, let our light so shine before men and women. So God is already telling us that there are men and women looking to see what your light and what your life looks like. Pastor.
Again, we want to thank you guys for joining us this evening. We truly appreciate it and having the opportunity to have these conversations talking about
Yes.
marriage. Because like you said, Pastor, a lot of times we wasn't taught this coming up. You
Right.
know, they told us it's better to marry than to burn.
That's
but
it.
when, you know, when
That's
you
it.
get up out the bed, it's still so much more to life than that.
That's right.
So we need to have these conversations to know that it's okay for church people and married people to have sex. It's
Right.
okay that we may not always get along.
Right.
It's okay, but we have to learn that we got to be more committed to our relationship, to that covenant relationship, than we are committed to how we feel about each other today. I forgot who said it, that hiccups are going to come and hiccups going to happen, but we know that we're not going nowhere.
Mhm.
So let's be different than what the world says and
That's it.
change that around to where we won't see 50% of the marriages ending in divorce, whether you
Right.
in or out the church, but especially in the church. By my heart, I'm a church girl, so it's just in my heart.
Right.
So let's just take divorce off the table. Let's not even have that in our vocabulary, in our dialogue. We have to be so committed to each other that when we get mad or we ain't liking each other today, we ain't even gonna bring up the D word, because that's
Right.
not
That's not even an
an
option.
option. Yeah, that's not an option. So you mad, you big mad, little mad.
Sleep at the bottom of the bed. You be all right.
Right. And communication and not communicating is a form of communication. So we won't be like the example I gave about my red road. I'm thinking it means one thing, he thinking it means another. How Pastor said, you know, about Bishop not saying nothing, she knew your not saying nothing was still a form of communicating.
Right.
We knew something was going on, something was off. So we got to be able to communicate. We're going to take the word divorce out of our vocabulary. We're going to learn each other bodies, learn your man body,
Right.
man, learn your woman body. Don't be all huffing and puffing thinking you're doing something that she don't like. And don't you
better
be
watch him for
moaning
your-
and groaning, doing something that he don't like. Like, no. And submission. In our
Right.
culture, we hate that word submit, but
Yeah,
that's not a bad thing.
it's not.
I love submitting to my husband. I want him to be the leader. Yes, you said it's the culture that we live in, having strong women. We don't have no choice but to be strong.
Exactly.
But I want my man to be stronger than me. And I ain't talking about just in his muscles. When he speak, I'ma listen. You know what I mean? I want him to lead us. Like, where you going? Where you say we going? You know, I want to be able to be like, well, my husband said no, so it's no. And we got to have purpose, not just my purpose, not just your purpose, but our purpose, like you said, Ebony, our purpose as a couple. What we here for, where we trying to go, and what we trying to do. And if
Mhm.
we can get hey AJ, if we
And
can
leave
get
the
those things
outside
together-
voices. Leave those outside
Yes,
voices.
yes.
Mhm.
Those
Let 'em
outside
be.
voices from unhealthy relationships. Stop allowing them to influence
Okay.
your marriage.
That is so key, because I don't know if dudes do it, but I know females, we got those women that be in your ear like, you need to come to
Yep.
the curb. You need to leave him alone. He did what? Honey, no, don't do.
And they be miserable.
Listen, I don't talk to single people. I don't talk to single brothers, and I don't talk to brothers that they marriage look like it's going through some stuff. You got going on. This little thing we bickering about, you got bigger problems, sir.
Right.
Stop.
Right.
Yep. So here you have it, America. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming into our living room and
Yes.
listening to these couples chit chat. The Echoes who've been married 22. You said 22?
22 years.
22
Wow.
years. That's
22.
amazing. You don't hear that often. Ebony and AJ, 7 years. We right
Yes.
behind y'all. A
Yes.
couple months later. You know, so we are living proof and examples that it works. Ain't nobody
Yes.
on here fronting and pretending like everything
Right,
is
we're
perfect
happy.
all day, all long. but we happy. We still
right.
together.
Still together.
And she feeding off.
If you made it through the pandemic, you doing something.
Hey,
Hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
Because
That's
we
a
spent more
word.
time around each other during that pandemic.
Yes.
Probably the whole time of our marriage.
We
So
made it through.
yes.
what
Learn,
little baby?
relearn each other.
With
If you
the
don't
baby.
remember
Come
what
on.
made you say yes, relearn each other. Well, what you like, and find something free to do. Like she said, everything you ain't got to spend a whole lot of money.
No.
Taking a walk don't cost nothing.
Right.
Going to get a water ice, $2.
Making some sandwiches and going to the park and just
Right.
hopefully it ain't too hot that day.
49-cent ice cream cone,
Hey, listen,
Listen,
the little free walk around the park.
we about to kill because we about to take up kayaking.
Okay?
We about to
I love it. I love it.
We moved out here
kayak,
bougie. We be at the
It's-
lake, you know.
It's fun.
We done got bougie.
Nice and relaxing.
see, we going to the lake.
We go to the lake.
Yes,
Get
sir.
on that
We just enjoy riding around and just spending time with each other.
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
do stuff like that
Yep.
flotation, getting in the egg and just floating in the dark. Just
Oh,
laying there
Bishop,
floating.
Bishop, don't let your wife take you there. Oh my God.
Where? What is that?
it? What is
They
that?
got this egg thing somewhere around
It's a flotation.
Central.
It's a flotation spa where you just go to the spa, you
Oh,
get in the
where
water.
is it? I want to go.
They sit you
All
inside
right,
this
wait,
egg,
it's almost 9 o'clock. We're
All right,
taking
all right,
up
all
the
right,
people's time.
but they sit you inside this egg and they make you lay down in it in the salt water and you
Epsom salt, not sea salt.
yeah,
Epsom
Epsom
salt.
salt.
The only
You
corny
know,
part.
You in there butt naked, and then
But why
they
you-
close the top on you. I
don't
couldn't
want
stand that. Why you gonna close the top on me, man?
But it's so relaxed. It's so relaxing. It's amazing.
I'm about to check it out.
I don't know if I could close that top now. I don't know. I don't know.
listen.
The salt might break me out. You know, I got blood pressure. I'm just like the old folks. I'm very adventurous, but I don't know about no egg closing down on me in no salt water.
You got to see the pictures. Once you see the pictures, you gonna want to do it.
She thinking
I've
like,
seen
oh,
it on,
no.
I've seen it on TV, but I looked, I was like, what them white folks do?
we were the only ones there. But we wanted to do
No,
something,
I love-
something different.
Y'all, I love my Caucasian brothers. I might cook on. I might come out looking like a pickle.
Tell everybody about your
Yes.
service. You guys
Oh,
got your relaunching coming up.
Oh yes, our service relaunch, going back into service August 1st, 2 p.m., 2315 Rosalind Avenue, Charlotte, North Carolina. Come on, go to our page, Martina Echols, Antonio Echols, share, like, and join us. It's going to be an awesome time in the Lord. Come on out.
All that good stuff.
Covenant
Tell us
Worship
about-
Center. Thank you.
Tell us about the boutique.
Ebony?
Okay, yes. So Ebony London Apparel, go to ebonylondonapparel.com or on Instagram at shop_Ebony London Apparel. I got all like the cutest, trendiest clothes for plus size ladies, my curvy queens. So we specialize in sizes extra large to 3X. So I got some new arrivals coming in. Got accessories and waist trainers and lashes. So go check us out. And of
What
course,
is
you know,
it, Ebony?
got
What?
Ebony London Apparel. And y'all know we always got deep clean pressure washing. We hit up from Georgia to North
Come
Carolina.
on, tell us about it. What you do,
Yeah.
deep clean.
We do it all. We do the pressure washing. We do for residential and commercial. We do organizing and sanitization, all of that. So we at Deep Clean
Oh, awesome.
on Instagram. We at Deep Clean LLC pressure washing.
And I appreciate y'all because he came all the way from Georgia to clean our house. I appreciate the brother. And
And,
the prices are reasonable.
and this discussion has been
You
sponsored
put it out.
by Stacy Sweet Sense. We have both large, medium, and small. all different scents, all different styles, whatever you like, something strong, something light, something sweet.
Clean linen is the best.
Yes, we got it right here, clean linen. And you can go to Stacy Sweet Scents on Facebook or Instagram and stacysweetscents.com for our candles. And it's also been sponsored by Pink Ice Lip Gloss.
My lip gloss is popping.
All the ladies that enjoy lip gloss, try out
Yes.
Pink Ice Lip Gloss. That's on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Is
You
that
know, if you
under
want some
what?
candles to really help
What
your
is
house,
it under Instagram? What is it under Instagram?
It's Pink Ice Lip Gloss on all social media channels and pinkiceliplipgloss.com as well.
don't forget about Mary Kay.
Oh yes, and Mary Kay. Let me be your beauty consultant.
We hustlers
Yeah.
ain't.
Multiple streams of income.
If you
Hey,
enjoy-
Hallelujah.
Yeah,
Generation
Pastor
wealth.
Felicia already one of my customers.
And for everyone that's watching and enjoy, if you enjoyed this discussion, we have a whole lot more discussions that's on YouTube. You go in the search engine and you put in New Hope FTC, you'll be able to see the rest of our discussions. This discussion will be on YouTube in a couple of days. So anybody that enjoy the Echoes, enjoy the Gunters, go to our YouTube page, New Hope FTC, and watch it and share it with some other people. Share with your family and friends. Share it with people that are in a marriage and need some help. And if you need somebody to talk to, I'm your man. Check out Ask Pastor Harry. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Send your questions to
Send your questions
askpastorharry@gmail.com.
I don't care how crazy the question is. I don't put nobody's name out there. I don't put nobody's face out there. But I will raise the question, and hopefully something that is affecting your life is affecting somebody else's life.
Your daughter about to put you out there because you gotta go pick up Kaya.
Well, my son get ready to go get her.
Oh Jesus.
I know she's gonna fuss at me about that, but you know how these kids is. You know how the kids is. But we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We
Thank
appreciate everybody that watched on Facebook Live. And I want y'all to always remember this one thing.
There's hope.
At New Hope.
God bless.
Love you all.
Love you. Thank you.
Me too.
Thank you.
Thank
Really
y'all.
appreciate
Thank you.
guys.
Yes.
You know, anytime.